Welcome to the Think Factory podcast. We got one question for you. What keeps you up at night?
I'm your host, Chris Santomassimo, and I'm excited to be today with Amber Freeman from PostCardMania. Amber is the VP of Business Development for PCM Integrations. So welcome to the podcast, Amber.
Thank you, Chris. Very excited to be with you guys today.
Well, we're excited to have you because, PostCardMania is no new entrant to this world of direct mail and omni-channel marketing for sure. So what I wanted to do was give you a chance to tell the folks listening just about the company and, what your focus is.
Sure, I'd love to. So PostCardMania, we've been around since 1998, so over 25 years now. I personally have been with the company for going on 16 years. We really position ourselves as a full service marketing company. We do everything omni-channel, everything from any type of print media you can think of that lands in someone's mailbox to custom built websites, in-house design services, social media, Google ads, etc. We've realized over the years how important it is for all of those channels of marketing to be the same. Your branding has to match. Everything needs to make sense. Otherwise, you're kind of wasting your money with doing those different channels because people don't recognize you. And that's the whole point, brand recognition. So that's pretty much us in a nutshell. We've recently grown into the tech space. So in addition to being a full service marketing company who has kept all of our printing in-house over the years with multiple different presses now, we are in the API solution space, tech space now, where we're also working with a lot of SaaS companies and helping those guys offer direct mail services, white labeled, and we're the print engine behind it.
So let's break it down a little bit, Amber. We know what, just by the name, PostCardMania, you focus on postcards and direct mail. We've done a number of podcast episodes about direct mail companies like yours. Namely folks that are putting all kinds of marketing brochures, marketing materials into the mail. And I think everyone would agree that the so-called old school direct mail is here to stay. And it actually is a really strong marketing vehicle. You want to talk a little bit about the staying power?
Definitely. You're right, Chris. It's just easy. The easy answer is it's a tangible mail piece. So, two parts to that. One is when you're really trying to get in front of a more niche audience, and maybe you're a pediatric dental office and you really need to make sure you're getting in front of homes with children versus just blanketing an area in the online space. You're sending pieces of mail or postcards, letters to a mom or a dad who is getting home from work, checking their mail, getting their kids out of the car. They're busy. They have 10 things to do. They have to go make dinner, let the dogs out. So everybody has to check their mailbox. Everybody doesn't have to read their emails. I personally don't. I get tons and tons of emails into my personal inbox and I mass delete them most of the time. But when that mom or dad is home for the day and they're checking their mail, they have to give each piece at least 1 to 2 seconds before they decide to keep it or throw it in the trash. So I really think that's the simple answer. You're going to get seen no matter what. And the tangible piece allows that parent to stick it on the counter, throw it in the junk drawer, hang it on the fridge, and go back to it when they have time to think with it. So if it's any type of service that, is interesting to them or communicates to them or something they've been thinking about recently, they don't have to stop what they're doing and make a decision right now. They can save it for later. And that really is, I think, for me, why direct mail has such a staying power. It'll never go away.
And I think it really registers with a recipient too, even if they sort of put it aside or as you said, they put it in the junk drawer. They're going to remember it and they're going to remember where they put it, probably, but they may actually remember the details of the name and the business name and whatever the marketing proposition is, and then actually take action based on that piece.
That's right. I mean, statistically, somebody needs to see your brand or your name multiple times to really remember every detail about you. But at the end of the day, if that parent the next day or the next week needs going back to thinking about making that appointment for their kids, they're going to go, oh, I got that postcard in the mail. Like, where is that postcard? I'm going to grab that. Or if they remember your logo or your company name, they're going to go online and they're going to Google you, Amber's Pediatric Dental Office, My Town, USA. So yeah, it does. It definitely, the postcards and physical mail plays into a lot of traffic that people see online. A lot of times postcards send people to your website. It just builds credibility and brand recognition for you. And I think that is not noticed enough. I think that those two things really aren't tied together enough with today's
Right.
marketing.
And I think when people worry about security and online scams, to your point about credibility, you don't really see that in direct mail because of the expense involved.
That's right.
And
I would totally agree with that.
You know, the other piece that I think is really exciting about direct mail is the ability to link it with digital technology. What are some of the things that PostCardMania does in order to create that ecosystem, if you will, of omni-channel marketing?
Yeah, great question. No, that's huge. 25 years ago, we did start with just doing postcards, and today we recommend 10 times out of 10 that you purchase a product with your direct mail marketing called Everywhere Small Business through PostCardMania. So that is where we do a postcard design for you. We take that postcard design and we create a Google ad, a Facebook ad, an Instagram ad, a Gmail ad, an informed delivery ad through the United States Postal Service. We use a call tracking number. We use a QR code. So that way we take the same list that you're mailing those postcards to. So the same names and the same addresses, and we social match those guys and we find their social media pages. And then we show it's essentially a digital ad of your postcard to those same people. So before they even get the first postcard in their mailbox, they're going on Facebook, scrolling down their, feed that day, and they're seeing you pop up. They're on Google checking the news or the weather or their email, and they're seeing a banner ad on Google, and then the next day they get your postcard in the mail.
That's amazing. And people may not even realize that, they've seen the ad, it looks familiar, and then they create this relationship almost in their minds with that particular vendor.
That's right. A lot of time it's completely subconscious, but it definitely works. Our clients who do the online omni-channel marketing with the direct mail generally see between a 40 to a 60% increase in response rate.
And that's amazing, especially when you talk about digital only having such a less than 1% response rate.
Yeah, it's monster. It's a no-brainer.
Folks that market are always going to look at what's the return on investment. And we were talking about this a bit earlier, that if you compare just dollars out and the number of sends, if you will, with direct mail versus digital, you're going to get thousands of emails or text message blasts for the same price that it might cost you for direct mail. But talk a little bit about where you should focus on ROI when you think about, which should I do or should I do them together?
Sure. For us, it's all about ROI. You're right. You can spend the same dollar amount and get, quadruple to 10x the number of emails or text messages out. But there's so many things in place today to block those text messages from coming through and to just spam those emails or send you to somebody's junk box. And even if it does make it to your inbox, like the percentage of conversion based on cold emails is incredibly low, whereas it's all about ROI. So, you get 1 or 2 responses from a postcard campaign and you are a roofer and you close one of those deals and you make $15,000, $25,000, your response rate could be in the thousands.
Yeah, that's amazing. And particularly because, it's exponential really in terms of how much more ROI you get per piece.
And, I'm not going to say direct mail is for every single business out there. There are definitely some business owners where maybe it doesn't make sense. If you're selling an ebook for $9.99 or something, maybe direct mail is a bit expensive for you because you would need to get, 100 of those or 50 of those ebooks sold based on your mailing campaign to really make your money back. So we totally understand that, but if your return on investment, 90%, 95% of the industries out there have a high enough return on investment that direct mail would benefit them, hands down.
So where are some of the use cases that are most exciting? Who can really take advantage of the direct mail combination with the digital side?
Sure. So real estate is the number one industry that we work with. Agents, investors, wholesalers, all of the above. Those guys have such a high ticket item, anytime they sell a property or a home. Second largest industry, these kind of toggle between our top 3 are the home service industries. So roofing, HVAC, pest control, landscaping, plumbers, anybody in the business of the homeowner consumer space, massive for them. And insurance. Insurance is really big. People have to renew their homeowner's insurance. Typically, you're not looking at that as a homeowner. You're not looking to change your homeowner's insurance company each year. It's one of those things you'd like to set and forget. But homeowners insurance companies can get lists of people and the dates of those guys' homeowners insurance expiration. They're called X-date lists. So if that marketing is done correctly and you're sending 90, 60, 30 days before those guys are due to renew and you're offering them something that's eye-catching, a good promotion and a beautiful card, works really well for them. So I would say those are our top three. And in there too, that I think goes in and out now is dental. Dentists benefit greatly from direct mail because the lifetime value of one new dental patient can be through the roof. Same thing, you find a good dentist, you don't really want to switch. So it's not just about looking at that first purchase with a business in terms of what your ROI is. It's really about looking at the lifetime value and how long an average client or patient stays with you.
So these tend to be, you'd say, local and regional businesses. Would you say that there's room for a national campaign around direct mail as well?
Yeah, definitely. We do business nationally. Not a ton of it right now. It does get a bit tricky with timeline and postage and different countries' postal service and how that works, but there is definitely room. We see a lot of direct mail in the UK, and we see a lot of direct mail. We send a lot of direct mail in Canada.
And direct mail has certainly been around for a number of years, as long as the mail, I guess, has been here. But, as I said before, I think the technology connection is really exciting. But do you think that there's room for that to grow? That is direct mail and the combination with the automation, or do you think it's kind of hit a ceiling at this point?
Oh no, there's so much room for it to grow. We're just breaking the surface. If honestly, the sky is the limit. When you mention automation, part of what we just talked about, yes, those services are automated, but it gets way more granular than that, allowing your clients. So for me in the tech space, we offer API solutions, which means application programming interface. It essentially is like if you imagine a digital power cord that runs from a website or an application or some type of platform right into our print presses. That's the way you can think of an API. And clients are using that, not only small business owners themselves who want to automate their marketing. So they say, you know what, every time, for example, a roofer, every time I complete a job, I want to send 500 postcards or 100 postcards right away to the neighbors around that home telling them, hey, I just did your neighbor's roof at 123 Main Street. Like, call us now for a discount or a promotional rate. Those are super powerful and they work really well. And automation has just begun, I think, to really take shape in the direct mail world. There's so much of that still out there.
The great thing about that strategy that you just mentioned is that your customer then has a reference point too, because all the neighbors can go by and take a look, or if they know the neighbor, ask the neighbor about the experience.
Yep. Yeah, it's huge for home service industries. It's huge for real estate. Real estate, they're really big on direct mail automation. I mean, if you think about it, so one of the ways we used it first, every business, most businesses who have a sales team, they're operating in some type of CRM, customer relationship management software to house their prospect information, their leads, their customers, maybe their order history. So we have given access to our sales team when they're following up with leads and they're nurturing that relationship. They click a button within our CRM and it allows them to send what we call a face card, which is a postcard with this sales rep's face on the front of it. And they're able to type in a box, a custom message to that person on the back. So, hey, Chris, so great speaking with you. Can't wait to get things rolling for you within the next 30 days. Talk soon. And then within 24 hours, that postcard prints, mails, and is in the mail stream.
That is amazing. It beats the heck out of an email that you might send, I think, right?
Exactly. And you have the ability to do one-offs. It doesn't all have to be bulk, which is, I think, is really where automation blows up. If you want to do a bulk mail campaign, they're beneficial and they're necessary. And that's how you prospect and that's how you generate new leads. But the automation side allows you to be really niche and really personal and really custom to anybody that you're nurturing that you already have in your database or your clients,
And does your API circle back into a CRM that the customer might use as well?
It does. Yeah. So every situation looks different. We would work with the developer or the tech team on that client side to work with them on what the integration would look like. But that's exactly right.
Oh, that's amazing.
We actually just launched a relationship. We're about to go official into the app exchange, but we've just created an app within Salesforce. So PostCardMania is now going to have a direct mail app that can be downloaded by any Salesforce user. And it gives them the ability, almost native within the platform, to click a button that says send postcard. It has a really great, robust design editor with hundreds of pre-built templates that are all fully customizable. So anybody, even if they're not a marketing genius or they're not a designer, they can go in, they can work from these templates that we've created based on industry success. So we know these have the elements to be successful, and you guys are able to change those, change your colors, add your logos, add dynamic variable fields if you want that card to say, hey, Christopher. But it is live now, but we're in beta. So we're in the beginning stages. And yeah, that's into the first CRM of many.
See, that to me is impressive, to be able to jump on the app exchange and offer that kind of a service. Is there any minimum number of pieces that you need to send in at a given time?
Nope, no minimum.
So that really just sort of democratizes the solution for small businesses, right?
That's right. That's the goal. We want everyone to have a really useful technology at their fingertips they're spending their marketing money smart and they're getting the best return on investment. And by being able to pick and choose one at a time who that goes to and what it says, they're putting their best foot forward.
And how do you view postcards versus other types of printed mail?
So we at PostCardMania do pretty much every type of printed mail you can imagine. I might be misspeaking here, but I know we have 2 to 3 digital presses here in-house and at least 2 offset presses. There might be more, but those are the ones I know of for sure. So we print postcards of all sizes. We print letters, all different types of letters. We print brochures, multiple different sizes, multiple different folds. We can get pretty custom and unique with some fun stuff. We've definitely done weird shapes and weird size folded pieces, tabbed clothes that get people's attention. We have services where you can offer a scratch off on your postcard, which we see a lot from like automotive dealerships, scratch here and win a free BMW, but you scratch that piece and like, oh, come in and see a consultant. But Post-it notes being put on an actual postcard. Yeah, we pretty much do every type of print media you can think of that would be sent through the USPS and in someone's mailbox. Like, we're capable of 95% of that.
So one other thing I noticed that PostCardMania announced last week was the pre-mover daily mailers, which I think is a great way to bring together all those home improvement contractors and the real estate agents. But if you could talk a little bit about that piece as well.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. So essentially what this is we are now able to get data on people who have just listed their homes daily. So there are definitely data vendors, data compilers out there who are able to sell pre-mover data, but most of it in our experience is like 30 days old, 15 days old. And when you're working in that space, speed is everything. If I just listed my home, especially in today's market, there's a really high chance it won't be on the market long. So a lot of our companies our clients who are utilizing that are moving companies, right, dental companies, storage facilities. Anyone you can think of, painting companies who do blinds, people who know this person's going to be moving. They need my service now, or they're going to need it once they get into their new space. So that data is sent over on every single day, fresh for that day. Our clients set up an automated campaign where they ahead of time pick their geographical areas and they say, okay, everybody within this radius or this zip code, I want you to pull this every day. I want every new mover and I want to mail to them X number of times. They can choose 1-time mailer, I believe, or 3-time touch, which we highly, highly recommend. Just depends on how much time we have before that person actually moves,
Right.
And it's a set it and forget it campaign. So then again, there's no minimum, and every day we're pulling the area for that client, seeing how many new movers they have already approved their postcard design, and it sends within 24 hours. First class.
That's phenomenal. Any way to find a solution on the other side? That is when people are moving to their new destination?
We have that as well. So that's called the new mover campaign. So we have pre-mover. Is that what you mean? And
Yeah,
once
I didn't even know
somebody's
you had
actually
it, so
moved,
I just came up
yeah.
with that question.
No, we have the pre-mover campaign, which is new. And then we have the new mover campaign, which we've had for years. So that's exactly what you're speaking of. It's every time somebody moves into a new home, we get the data on when that home closes, and then same type of process. So, oh, you're a landscape guy, you're pest control, you do irrigation, you do pressure washing, anything that this new homeowner might need. And we've just pulled some statistics on it recently that say a very high percentage, I want to say it was 40% of new homeowners choose to go with the service that they see first once they've moved into a new home. So speed is everything. So having to wait to get that data and then having to wait, 3 to 5 days to print a postcard plus delivery time, it's just not optimum. So we do it within 24 hours, automated.
Amazing. Just when I thought I had a cool idea, you already beat me to it. So, well, this is really great,
Yeah.
Amber. And, as I said, if you look at our podcast site, thethinkfactory.com, what you're going to see are a number of folks that talk about their passion for direct mail. And there's no doubt there's a ton of passion for it and a ton of value. But what I love about PostCardMania is what you've done to really speed up the process, that phrase I used, or that word I used, democratize it for small business. It's really just a powerful solution.
Yeah, it really is. And the biggest thing, Chris, with PostCardMania and Joy, our CEO, that helping the economy and helping small businesses grow and creating more jobs in today's market is her passion. Positively affecting our shared economy through small business success is why she did what she did on day one, and it's why she does what she does here, 25 years later. This year, she actually took a pledge, and we talk about it at our weekly staff meeting every week with the entire company. Our goal is to add 10,000 jobs into the economy by helping our clients grow and needing to hire more staff this year. And she fully 100,000% believe, and we believe, we're right there with her, that the power of direct mail is how that gets done. Definitely multi-channel marketing is important. That's why we offer the packages we do. But yeah, I mean, we're firm believers, and she is the most passionate person about this topic that I've even to this day ever met in my entire life.
Well, I'll say it again, the ability to provide such a powerful tool to small businesses through, even printing one-off mailers, one at a time. I mean, that's tremendous because, that it's until recently it was always large advertisers that could take advantage of direct mail. Now you've brought it down to the small business.
That's right. Anybody and everybody should be taking advantage of direct mail today.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Amber, thank you so much for a great talk. I'd love, if you wouldn't mind, just tell people how to find more information about PostCardMania.
Yeah, definitely. So you can give us a call directly. The phone number is 1-800-690-0945, and our team can help you, or definitely visit our website. It's www.pcmintegrations.com.
And then the main site, postcardmania.com, right?
The main site is, www.postcardmania.com. Exactly.
Fantastic. Well, Amber, thank you so much for sharing all the details as well as your passion for direct mail. It was terrific.
Yeah, Chris, thank you for having us.
And just to refresh, this was Amber Freeman from PostCardMania. She's the VP of Business Development for PCM Integrations. Thank you so much, Amber. And signing off, this is Chris Santamassimo, host of the Think Factory podcast, powered by OGC Solutions. We'll see you next time.